Today's yoga video is for all of my fellow quad rights and those who have a right variable in their human design chart. This is a gentle flow that incorporates a lot of breath to bring you to a very present place in your body. When you're present in your body, you can tune everything out and move in a way that feels good. And there is no purpose to this class other than you're in flow and feel like doing it. Because quad rights are not here to do or prove anything. And anything you do is just a way to express your creativity and awareness. We always need a way to release our awareness. I'll provide different options for postures, so use this time to tap into your body and move into a fluid manner that feels good to you. So be fluid, lazy, relaxed, and enjoy. Drop into that soft, flowing, open, and feminine space. We're going to begin in a seated position with our legs crossed. If you'd like to grab a block and place underneath your hips, if that feels a little bit more comfortable, you can grab that now. And just gently place your hands on your knees and come back to your breath. Come back to your body. Begin to feel the breath coming in and out of your nostrils. We're going to begin with a seated breath meditation. So place your left or right hand on the lower belly and just begin to feel the belly rise on the inhales. And we're going to take 5 or 10 long, slow, deep breaths. So shutting everything else out around you. And just imagine being in a black void with nothing to do, nowhere to be, allowing the breath to flow in and out. Long, slow, deep breaths. And if the mind starts to wander, just bring it back to the breath, back to that black void with nothing to do, nowhere to be. And take a big inhale in and let it out through the mouth. Remove the hand from your lower belly. Still focusing on the breath coming in and out. Allowing yourself to soften a little bit more. And just relaxing all of the muscles surrounding the eyes and the mouth. And then slowly making your way into tabletop on your hands and your knees. Bringing your knees apart and your feet together, shifting back into child's pose. Again, just allowing yourself to soften here. Just turning the mind off and tuning into the body. And just see if it has anything to say. And just allowing yourself to sink a little bit more into the softness that is your body. I'm just allowing the hips to sink a little bit further down. And slowly begin to make your way back up into tabletop. Bringing your knees about hip distance apart. We're going to go into some cat-cows. So inhale, lift the chin up. And exhale, round through the upper and the lower back. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest up. And exhale, round through the back. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest up. And exhale, round through the back. And inhale, lift up. And exhale, round. And come back to a neutral spine. And just move into dancing lion. These are some gentle movements where you get to explore your body. Find where it's feeling a little stiff. And just gently stretch in those different areas of your body. So maybe moving your hips from side to side, rocking forward and back, moving your hips in circles, coming down to child's pose, and sinking into the shoulders, moving your head and neck, just anything that feels good for you. And then bring your knees together or apart and sink your hips back into child's pose. And then on your next inhale, lift your hips forward, coming into upward facing dog, lifting your feet up off the mat and lifting the chin up. And on your next exhale, push your hips back into child's pose. And repeating again, we're going to inhale and come into upward facing dog, lifting the feet up and the head up and back. And exhale back to child's pose. And coming back just one more time, lifting the chin and the chest up, kicking the feet up. And exhale, come all the way back to child's pose. And bring your knees together. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Just begin to pedal the feet out a little bit here. Maybe moving your hips from side to side. And just pushing out of your hands, feeling that stretch in the shoulders and the backs of the legs and the lower back. And just come back to a neutral spine, taking a nice bend in your knees, feeling that stretch in the backs of the legs and the calves. And finding a couple more stretches here. Coming back to the breath. Coming in and out of the nose. Start to walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. And bring your hands to your feet. Deeply bend your knees and relax your head and your neck down. Maybe bend and straighten the knees. Feeling that stretch in the backs of your legs. And on an inhale, lift the arms all the way up towards the sky. Leaning all the way back, and exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And drop your left hand down to the side, bringing your right arm up and over to the left, feeling that nice deep side stretch. And switching sides, drop the right arm down and lift the left arm up and over to the side. And slowly come all the way back up and lift the arms all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, you're going to bend your knees and fold forward, relaxing your head and neck. You're going to inhale, halfway lift with a flat back, and you're going to walk your feet out and place your hips a little bit lower, coming into Malasana. With your toes slightly turned out, bring your hands to your heart center with your elbows on the insides of your knees. Feel free to grab a block to sit on if that feels a little bit more comfortable. If you have a little bit more flexibility in your hips, feel free to rock from side to side. Closing your eyes and taking deep breaths here. And just continuing to quiet the mind here. Bringing the hands to the front of the mat, step the feet all the way back into plank. And just holding here and slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Placing your hands on the outsides of the mat, untuck your toes and inhale, lift up for a wide-armed low cobra and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the chin and the chest up and back, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, and this time we're going to drop the left shoulder down to the center of the mat. And inhale, come back up, and other side, drop that right shoulder down to the center of the mat, and inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower the chest down. Bring the hands next to the chest. Slowly lift up and back. You're going to bring your knees together this time for child's pose and extend your arms out in front. Coming back to your breath, coming back to that heightened awareness of your body and what is going on with your body right now. So just turn off your mind and get present. If you're constantly trying to focus on one thing, it's a little bit more difficult to tap into your awareness and creativity and gifts. So allow the body to be still and to listen to what it has to say. If it feels a little bit more comfortable, you can turn the palms up and bring your hands to the lower back of your neck. And bringing your hands back to the mat, you're going to come back into tabletop. Bring your knees a little bit farther apart. You're going to tuck your toes under and lift your hips up and back into down dog, just deeply bending your knees here. Lift the heels up off the ground. Slowly begin to roll the spine forward, rounding the back, making your way into a plank pose. Bend your knees and push your hips up and back into down dog. Repeating this spinal roll, come high up on your toes, roll through the lower and upper back, coming all the way into plank pose. Slow and controlled, bend your knees, lift your hips up and back into down dog. And one more time, come high up on those toes and roll forward. Coming into plank, bending your knees, lifting the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Taking a few moments to pedal the feet out, feeling that deep stretch in the backs of your legs. Maybe pedaling the feet out a little bit, feeling that stretch in your calves. Finding deep, long breaths here. Start to walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. Relax your head and your neck, slightly bend your knees. And inhale, lift your arms up and back, take a nice back bend here. And exhale, hands to heart center. And you're going to take your feet apart, coming into a wide-legged stance. Your feet slightly turned in and your heels out. Bring your hands to your hips. And with a flat back, begin to lower all the way down to the ground. Relaxing your hands on the ground. If you need to adjust your stance here, you can do that as well. Tapping into the body, feeling where the stretch is, and just noticing where you can put your awareness and where you can experience your body in a different way in the stretch. Slowly come all the way up, and then you're going to shift onto the left, keeping that right leg straight, coming into Skandasana. And then moving to the other side, dropping that hip over to the other side, keeping the left leg straight this time. Coming all the way back to center. With your toes slightly turned in, bring your hands to your hips and lift your back all the way up to standing. And then come back to the top of your mat with your feet together, arms by your sides in mountain pose. Inhale, lift your arms up and sink your hips down into chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart center as an option and just begin to lower all the way down to the mat. So again, grabbing your block if this is a little uncomfortable for you. Start off with your hands on your knees, just recentering, rebalancing. You're going to drop your left hand down to the side and bring your right hand to the side of your head, dropping your head over to the right. Maybe rocking the head forward and back, feeling that stretch in the back of the neck. Slow and controlled here. Rolling the head down to the chest and then over to the other side, switching hands, dropping that right arm down and bringing that left hand to your head. Maybe rocking the head forward and back, very gentle, slow movements here, very subtle movements. And release both of your hands, bringing them all the way up towards the sky. Place your hands behind your head, bringing your elbows together, drop your chin to your chest, and just gently rock the head from side to side. And slowly begin to release your hands from your neck and bring them down to your knees. Take a big inhale in. On an exhale, bring your left arm behind you and your right hand to your left knee, gently twisting to your left. Nothing to force, just become aware of any limitations you may feel in your spine. Inhaling, lifting the head up towards the sky. And on your exhales, seeing if you can twist a little bit deeper here. Slowly come back to center, switching sides. Drop the right hand behind you, bring that left hand to your right knee. And on an exhale, twist to your right. Again, nothing to force. Just a lengthening of the spine on the inhales and a twisting of the spine on the exhales. And gently come back to center. We're going to do a couple of seated cat-cows. So place your hands on your knees. Sit up nice and straight. On an exhale, you're going to round through the upper and lower back. And on an inhale, lift the chest forward and up. Exhale, rounding through the back. Inhale, lifting the chin and the chest forward, arching the back. And exhale, round. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, round. And inhale, come back to center. You're going to extend your legs out in front, coming into a forward fold. So just bend your knees here, bring your stomach to the tops of your thighs. You're going to reach your hands for your toes. It's okay if your knees stay bent here. You want to feel this in your hamstrings or maybe even in your lower back. So relax your head and your neck as much as you can here. And just allow yourself to soften. Maybe you straighten the legs a little bit more. Coming back to the body, becoming aware of where you might be feeling a little tight. And just seeing if you can find a little bit more softness, maybe in the face or the shoulders, the legs. Finding those long, slow, deep breaths. Slowly begin to lift the chest up, and you're going to come all the way onto your back. Bringing your knees to your chest, rocking from side to side, feeling that nice massage on your lower back. And relax your feet down onto the ground, bring your arms out to the side, and just rock your knees from side to side, kind of like windshield wipers, just going from side to side. Feeling the opening in the hips. And coming back to center, hug your knees back into your chest. Give them a nice tight squeeze. Big inhale here. And exhale, release your arms out to the side and drop your knees over to one side. And then drop them over to the other side. This time, just a quick, gentle stretch, and then release your knees apart into reclined butterfly. You can place your hands on your belly, and then bring the knees together. Lift your feet up and back, coming into plow pose if that feels good for you. If you'd like to stay in the butterfly pose, you can as well. So just take the next few moments to find any stretch that feels good for you. Maybe bridge pose feels good, or plow pose, or reclined twist. Just tap into your body and see what it needs, and give that to yourself right now. And just a couple more slow, deep breaths wherever you're at. And wherever you're at, so slowly begin to straighten the legs and make your way into Shavasana. Feel free to place your hands in any way that feels safe and relaxing. So by your sides, maybe above your head or on your belly. Finding whichever variation feels the most comfortable and relaxing for you. So finding your flow. And just allowing yourself to settle in here in Shavasana, enjoying the stillness after the mindful movements to integrate the movement of energy throughout the class. Finding yourself back into that black void, forgetting anything else. There's nothing else going on, nothing to do, nowhere to be. Settling into this stillness of what is. And slowly begin to deepen your breath and come back into your body, moving your fingers and your toes, extending your arms over your head for a nice long stretch. Slowly bring your feet together, gently roll onto one side of the body, maybe using your arm as a pillow and just resting here as you come back to a more waking state. And just allowing yourself to feel held and safe. Slowly begin to push yourself all the way up to a seated position, grabbing that block if needed, and we're just going to end this practice like we began. Hands on your knees, coming back to the breath, taking long, slow, deep breaths, going back to the void, feeling the body continue to melt and relax. Just allowing yourself to become more present and in your body. So shifting from a more masculine, planning, focused state in the mind and the body to a more softer, feminine, and gentle and inflow space. Relaxing the face and the shoulders, taking a few more deep breaths here. And just kind of captivating this feeling of stillness and peace within your body. And know that you can capture this feeling at any time if you allow yourself to slow down and sit in the stillness. So bring your hands to your heart center, take a big inhale in and exhale out. Thank you all for joining me in this gentle yoga flow.